I'm Roy G. Biv, and I'm on the Spectrum. For tonight's special, I present the definitive edition of this reheated slop. Because you, specific, sensual savants that are my viewers, deserve better. I have torn through the flaccid sea of unfunny. My sails billowed with the gales of petty spite. My thick, veiny, battle-scarred mast bent heroically against the tides of mediocrity, so that I might anoint your spunk-starved countenance in a creamy consecration of highbrow humor. So prepare yourselves, pull up a chair, and pull down your pants, because it's time to get down to business. Midlander, you exist for marketing purposes only. Like the ugly friend in the group, you're there solely to make everyone else look better. You didn't pick Midlander because you thought they looked cool. You picked them because you fear the concept of happiness. You do not enjoy things, you tolerate them. You're the cunt who orders toast at a restaurant and asks to make sure it's not spicy, treating actual fun like a finite resource that must be strictly rationed. And yet, despite your total lack of gaiety, you walk these lands with miserable pride. You are the serious role player who writes a novel about your character's tragic past, only for them to look like an accountant. And you humble brag about your aptitude for the asinine like a man who files his taxes early. You are a sentient patch of beige whose idea of a good time is reading the terms of service, a cargo pants wearing, joy policing tryhard in the sport of waiting and the passing grade of people. Highlanders, you are hideous. This isn't a stereotype, it's an objective fact. You are proof that evolution is real and can be stopped far too early. You could replace the large mammal exhibit at any zoo with Highlanders. Nobody would notice that the pack of enormous hairy gorillas, fighting over sticks, throwing shit at each other, and hollering their own mother's name while desperately trying to discover fire by rubbing their cocks as hard as they can, were people. And yet, you Highlander players love it. Because Highlanders aren't just ugly. You're proud of being ugly. Convinced that you are the embodiment of aesthetics when you look like a twice-divorced middle-aged slob who only just joined a gym, showers there, and sleeps in his car. You are the last defiance of natural selection, a creature masquerading as a person who refuses to adhere to the world's social and beauty standards. Elezen. Sorry, I was just waiting for one to announce their arrival for me, because they just have to let everyone know how special and unique they are. Played purely by self-centered shysters, they're as insufferable as a Linux user, lecturing you on how their vegan diet makes their farts smell and taste better than yours. They're also a bunch of racists, funnily enough mostly played by women who should really know better. The only thing worse than one of them is a group. Huddled together like a squalid soiree of smug, stick-insect supremacists, stinking of sanctimony and second-hand smegma. Lalafells are not tiny and evil or cute. They're loud, obnoxious, diaper-filling, diaper-eating cunts, played by people who have the same mental age and emotional intelligence as the toddlers they resemble. The only people who like spoiled, annoying, screaming children are single mothers. And of course, gingerbread house owners, aka pedophiles, who, like the homes they inhabit, are a miserable monstrosity inflicted upon their neighborhood and anyone unfortunate enough to know them. And just like how gingerbread houses exist as dog whistles for nonsense, the genetic failures before now exist to provide contrast to perfection itself. Behold, the Miqo'te lady. Why do I call them lady? Because they are the embodiment of all that is right in this farcical tribulation we call existence. Half revealed in the shimmer of reality as fleeting fragments of perfection, blessing our dimmed continuance. These testaments of feminine sublimity stand as though conjured from the fevered dreams of a poet lost in delirium. They dance at the edge of divinity, their every motion hinting at a paradise we are too unworthy to ever truly comprehend. They are chaos and harmony, intertwined in a chromatic contradiction. Her sinew ripples with an ardent cadence that mocks the notion of the mortal coil, wending through the merciless masterpiece mankind has made of war. Calcimining crimson scoria across a violent canvas of carnage. Ein bejived in wildfire, a light with a defiance no mortal man could ever hope to tame. And yet, they turn their gaze upon you, and you see in their eyes the mercy of a springtime's lament. They are the anodyne to wounds they never inflicted, the comfort that a fractured heart could never ask for, but somehow receives. A fleeting touch, a whisper softer than the breeze through the golden fields of yore. The flame and the flower, embodying all extremes, and yet perfectly balanced, an attestation of what it means to truly live. Yet there is a certain futility to all their magnificence, a tragedy embedded in their beauty. For we, the flawed and finite creatures we are, cannot grasp them fully. We chase them through the corridors of our dreams, as though clutching at starlight, knowing all too well that such ethereal perfection can never be held, only glimpsed. So, I call them ladies, not for what they are, but for what they represent. An ideal, a fantasy, a cruel angel's thesis, showing us what we shall never possess. We have been blessed by an evanescent brush of wings too grand for this world, out of reach and worthy of reverence. Because Miqo'te girls aren't real, and that's the biggest you from God since AIDS. Now I have to cover the men of this race because of legal reasons, so without further ado, Miqo'te men, you're kinda gay. Roegadyn, existing in this world with the same grace required to write their name, which is like a caveman smashing a keyboard with their face while drunk as they fall down the stairs. Roegadyn players think they're a different breed of gooner because they're attracted to tall and strong women, which does not make you some pioneer of sexual preferences. And the fact that you constantly feel the need to announce it like it's breaking news, like you just did when you saw one of the ladies on screen, is sad. Because what you're really saying isn't, I like strong women. It's women hate me, and this is how I cope. And for the weirdos, aka the men, if you really want to run around as an enormous, pasty lard ass with high blood pressure that no one finds attractive, you can just go for a jog. Or women are nerds. Massive, massive nerds. But they're really nice. And they have to be nice because they're competing with Miqo'te women. Playing an Aura girl is the equivalent of being an ultimate raider, a self-inflicted, miserable, tedious, and monumental waste of everyone's time, where the only reward is fake admiration from other massive, mouth-breathing nerds who hate themselves just as much as you do. If Viera Girls took a swig of Fantasia and joined the winning team, they'd be more desirable than our assistant editor's vanilla slice. Which is not a euphemism for her vagina, but rather the dessert she leaves in the break room fridge that I want to eat. I would absolutely destroy her mud cake, though. And now, it's time. Our men. You knew this was coming because you felt it as a shiver down your collective backs, where your spines would be, as if, for the first time in your lives, you comprehended shame.
Oh, no. Get ready. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. He's lying.
Dog, you're breaking the law.
We're not all bad, okay? Not all of us are rapists. Like, I don't stand behind women at clubs and snort their dandruff like cocaine. Fuck, who does that? I mean, I don't even own a tight shirt, and my goat smells great. And yeah, I might be committing a crime right now, but it's for a good cause. Like, look at Senos Vex. He's an aura. He's pretty cool.
Popularity in YouTube channel. He's a raider.
I don't care. I want the recognition of being good. Okay, maybe some of us are bad. Oh boy, but not me and Zeno. You'll see in a future episode, I promise. I'm a voice actor and a red mage, you can trust me. Oh shit! That's for what you said last year! I'm one of the good ones! I'm one of the good ones!
Ah, Hrothgar women, a vision of what could have been. queens of Bosnia, rising once more in their fearsome, regal splendor, elegance and intelligence interwoven, might and mercy made manifest. But no! We got this stupid fucking cunt, Wuk'lamat!
Meal and let the rainbow sing.
She is a walking, never-ending joke, a comedy with no punchline, and a ceaseless tragedy who needs to flatline. It is my firm belief that the only reason mods are still a thing is not because they are the sole coping mechanism for a sizable chunk of players barely clinging to their subscriptions. No, it is because when Yoshi P returns home, exhausted from another long day of approving the worst decision he ever made, he logs onto his mod beast, strides into the JP server club scene to live out his final fantasy. And this is his persona that we are now canonically cursed to suffer. If you play a Hrothgar woman, then you probably worship this parasite as someone who shares her undiagnosed affliction, aka the crushing burden of needing to be the center of attention at all times. And if you can't force yourself into someone else's narrative, you'll orchestrate your own, scored to a rotating playlist of mental illnesses set to shuffle. Yes, I fucking hate Wuk'lamat. I'm not going to pretend she was well written in any way, shape, or form. So suck my balls. Hrothgar Men, you're gooch-gobbling gaylords. What is arguably the coolest race, with some of the best written lore, has been bastardized by the loudest pack of paw-pad-pining perverts imaginable. For everyone noble, Hrothgar man that exists in the world, as a lion-hearted king, bearing his nation's virtue, glory, and glaive. There are 20 raunchy, reprobate, rancorous rapscallions recklessly and relentlessly reducing this race's reputation to ruinous rubble while ritualistically and ridiculously rehearsing and repeating their pompous perversion as if it were a parade of pristine prestige. If you play a Hrothgar man, people already assume you're a furry. So stop giving them more to work with. Like how you tell everyone your favorite hobby is reverse freestyle golf, where there are 18 players and one crusty, disappointing hole. You, Viera Girls, the walking paradox, what Elezen women pretend to be, the final bosses of femininity, long-legged exquisiteness and excellence, carrying themselves like a saucy swan at a champagne gala, cool, composed, and calculating. Except they aren't. Viera women aren't the sage, sophisticated seductresses they'd have you believe. No, no, no. For the people who play Viera women are, in fact, even bigger boffins than Aura women. And not the fun kind of nerds you can dunk in a toilet or shove into oncoming traffic. No, they are socially stunted, serotonin-starved, substance-snorting sommeliers. If these pissheads aren't gripping a bottle, a vape, a cigarette, or a pillbox, they're trembling, whether from withdrawals or the sheer terror of interacting with another person. So don't be fooled by their cold, disinterested stares. They're not some aloof Amazoness. They're just having a come down, with perfect posture, thanks to the stick up their arse that keeps their back straight. Now I would carry on about these fresh air dodging, nicotine nursing neurotics, but that would be rude, because my mother is a Viera lady, and if you can't respect your own mother, which woman can you respect? And also, these generous goddesses, in their selfless benevolence, bestowed upon this accursed world the greatest gift that could ever be given. Behold, the Viera Man. Magnificent beings, paragons of perfection, who stride the realms with an elegance that sets the stars ablaze in trilocosmic envy. They are the very embodiment of splendor, as if sculpted by the gods themselves. Their beauty is unrivaled. A Baroque masterpiece of flesh, wrought with finesse in defiance of all the world's muteness, glittering like night's opalescent tears, yielding to the gentle mercy of dawn. Beneath the porcelain veneer of his Venustas lies marble-hewn, tensile might, not strained, but sovereign. The air bends to his passage, whispering exaltation. as it traces reverent fingers along the contours of a body both lethal and lustrated. His hands poised in stillness to an accoyed and inexorable finality. Their intellect is a marvel in itself, a vast and boundless ocean of wisdom, where each wave is a thought more profound than the last. Charisma, they have it in abundance, radiating a charm so potent that even the coldest of hearts thaw in rapturous capitulation. And let us not forget their humor, a gift from the heavens, a wit so sharp and so delightfully clever that it could turn even the dullest of moments into a spectacle of mirth. They are the masters of jest, the kings of quip, their words weaving a soliloquy of laughter that warms the very soul. To encounter one is to be graced by the pinnacle of creation, a meeting of minds and hearts that will leave you forever changed, forever yearning for just one more moment in their radiant company. I'm not biased, by the way. And now for the secret race, an effigy of paywall-gated stolen assets, a violation of the TOS and the sense of sight, the original sin that bullying could have prevented. Now, I don't mean the bikini-clad beauties or the handsome high-definition fellas. Not the God-grafted, God-gifted forms that saved us from sausage fingers and cockless, bollockless, mingeless mediocrity. Not the mashups of finery and follicle, nor the upscales to body, texture, and soul. Not the animations of whimsy and wonder, nor the withheld helms for the leporine and leonine. And definitely not the messiahs of masculinity, bristle bequeathed and blessed with beard, the mantle of what it means to be a man. Nay, for I am referring to the mod beasts.
Let me hear that. Give me that fire. Till I die. Give me that fire. Till I die. Give me that fire.
If you're asking yourself, am I a mod beast? Then tell me, does your game run at 10 FPS because you have so many mods installed that you no longer resemble a character within it? Then yes, you are. Mod beasts rose from the most rotten and rancid pits of the seven hells. And like a shit that won't flush, nobody except for degenerate fetishists and mung enthusiasts are happy to see them. Do not look up what munging is. You have the Guna Goblins, whose brains are as scabbed and rotten as the spunk-encrusted shirt they pass out at their PC in after another steamy ERP session with the boys. The Kuma Cryptid, evolution of the Guna Goblin, a godless homunculus, so degenerate they send you unwarranted, not safe for work screenshots of their blobfish marinating in spit and think that it's tame. And finally, the original caricature, the pizza cutter of people. All edge, no point. Trauma with tits stacked on abandonment issues. These literary vagrants, whose reading ability flatlines at anime subtitles, actually believe Dawntrail's lead writer shouldn't be paraded out and bludgeoned to death by Yoshi P himself on the next live letter as a public apology. Mod beasts are the gingerbread houses of people, played by low testosterone boys, with brains as smooth as their beardless beta male chins, and women stuffing the hole their father left with so much cock it's like dumping egg whites into a fishmonger's bin. If you're one of these meandering mistakes, lobbing out mare codes like Santa Claus if he was a complete cunt, just know the sheer terror of watching that bar fill makes my shitter clench so tight my ass hairs could filter diarrhea into clean drinking water. And there you have it, another sumptuous ladling of scrumptious, high-quality content courtesy of yours truly. If any of these jokes ruined your day, please feel free to let me know, because it always improves mine. But before you scamper off to return to your miserable Midlander tier existence, I must issue a warning, nay, a threat. This job, this craft, creating actual content, with effort, a Sisyphean labor, undertaken only by those with integrity, masochistic tendencies, and a willingness to suffer for the joy of others. I'm pretty much Jesus Christ. Do you know what would be easier? Streaming. Or even worse, I could become a reaction streamer. Or even worse, I could become a political reaction streamer. So, if you like what I make, want to see more, want to help me keep creating it, want to learn how to make it yourself, or just want to be relentlessly showered in my praise and gratitude like the god-tier patrons of fine art who appeared in this video, Then join my Patreon now, lest I abandon this noble endeavor and embrace the dark, soulless grift of streaming. The choice is yours. Choose wisely.